Hello and welcome to another great week of the Overwatch League. That's right, guys, we are back. It's the second week of 2-2-2, the second week of all. It's kind of like 2-2-2-2, really, if you think about it.
Indeed.
Many twos today.
Exactly.
There you go. Well, exciting match coming up. First, it's going to be Guangzhou Charge taking on the London Spitfire. Before we get there, let's go over some changes here in stage number 4.
Or not.
Hope you're a fast reader, but we can tell you about it. Don't worry about it. Now, the teams will be restricted to playing 2 tanks, 2 DPS, and 2 support. There they are. It's called Roll Lock. We love it. We're moving forward here. And yeah, that's right. It should be really good. We got DPS players back in the lineup again, damage players rather, for the first time in a long time, really. And we also have some changes to assault maps as well. So now you get 3 minutes instead of 4 for taking point A. And if you're on the defending team and you die shortly after or are dead when point A is taken, you respawn a bit quicker. It gives the defending team a better chance on B to get a little bit of a solid defense going.
Yeah, we did have a patch too, which did increase McCree's firing rate. Hasn't had too much of a big effect yet, but what has had a big effect is you know, the shortened defense matrix from D.Va, so we have been seeing less D.Va plays. Obviously, a lot of Roadhog already showing up, especially for the combination with Orisa.
Yeah, that's right. So let's take a look at our season standings, because you know what? Stage standings, not so important anymore. We don't have the stage playoffs at the end of this one. We've just got the play-ins for the overall playoffs, and that is what really matters. When you look at this one, checking out our 2 teams in this series, Spitfire kind of on the bubble in the playoffs for now, but they really need to keep winning to stay in it. And Charge starting to threaten a little bit there. Yeah,
they're in the play-in right now in 10th place, so Charge has really been shooting up the standings, Spitfire as well, trying to make sure that they have that guaranteed playoff seed. So this is going to be a very important match for both of these teams.
Yeah.
I mean, both of them have 5 matches left, and that's all they're going to get in order to prove their dominance and make sure they can at least enter that play-in tournament.
I think one of the things that I'm most excited about in this series is watching Nero versus Prophet.
Yes.
They are 2 of the 100%. Best DPS in the league right now. Both of them have had this flexibility that a lot of other DPS players lack, where they can kind of flex into the other damage player on their team's hero pool if they need to make those changes. But Nero especially, coming into this league and playing the way he has been insanely impressive.
Yeah, we saw in Watchpoint too, Prophet is leading in the big Hanzo statistical categories out of all Hanzo players in this league after popping off against the Toronto Defiant and the Dallas Fuel last week. So Prophet's been doing excellent work. We've even We've even seen Prophet start to play some Widowmaker, which is really unusual as we take a look at their top hero usage right now. Lots of mate for Nero. They've been playing around, have these Widowmaker a lot of the time, and mostly the Hanzo, because London has been emphasizing a lot of the double sniper compositions with Batiste as well.
Well, I'm tired of talking about this stuff. I want to see some games. All right, ready to see some games, Monty?
I'm so ready.
All right, let's do it. Let's hear it for our first team in this series. It's the Guangzhou Charge. Pre-show is all well and good, but I want to get these players on stage. I want to get in the game. I want to start seeing what these guys can do.
Yeah, and I really like that we've seen Nero start to rise as a star for the Charge in terms of his versatility, his excellent mechanics, because we started this season hearing a lot about him, but he wasn't 18 yet, so we had to wait. Then we were in the 3-3 meta, and now he's really getting this chance to shine. And I've been talking to their coaches. They always said that they really liked his versatility as well as the communication he brings to the team. So it's fun to see these new players who are now starting to be eligible strut their stuff here in the Overwatch League.
Yeah, I mean, just look at that damage combo in Guangzhou. Nero and then Happy. No, it's weird. This is a credit to how good I think Nero's been playing. When we can go the entire pre-match little segment there and not even mention Happy once, like that's how good Nero has been since turning 18 and joining this team. But Happy is another player you really have to talk about on this team, because he is a crazy Widowmaker, probably the best in the league right now, I think.
He's definitely up there. Like, we can have conversations about Happy, DM being some of our best Widows, especially in those Widow versus Widow battles.
Definitely up there, yeah.
So Happy has been extraordinary. I mean, we knew this coming in about him as a player, and now he finally is able to show it off here in Stage 4.
That's right, their opponents, so another team that went 2-0 in week number 1 of Stage 4. Can they keep the win streak going today? Let's hear it for the London Spitfire. That funky music. That's right. I think I see Quatermain walking out onto stage. So a little bit of a swap at the support roles for map 1 at least.
Yeah, they have been playing Quatermain on control maps, but control maps have been really problematic for London. They lost both of them last week. And again, they didn't have the strongest competition, so that's what we need to see the biggest improvement on for London, is getting control more stabilized for them and showing a bit more coordination.
Yeah, that's right. But it was really fun watching London last week because it almost looked like the London Spitfire that ended up winning the Overwatch League last year, right? We saw a lot of those gesture combos with Prophet, pairing the Hults with the Dragon Strike, getting those big monster kills, or multi-kills rather, different FPS. But anyway, these guys have been looking back in form again, and it's eerie how similar this looks to last year.
Yeah, it's been fun to watch. Birdring, you know, he's been an inconsistent player in the past. He's had some very high highs. We haven't seen, I think, the best play out of him so far this stage, but it's only a couple maps in. So we're gonna see if he gonna be improving his form as we take a look here at our flex supports, Shu and Bedosin. Bedosin playing a lot more Batiste so far this stage than we're used to seeing from him.
Right, and we talked about the damage matchup early on. This is another matchup to watch, the matchup between the flex supports. You mentioned Bedosin's flexibility, London playing a lot more Batiste than a lot of the other teams in the league. On the other side, you've got Shu as well, who's just monster Ana player, and we're gonna look at their Ana stats right now. Shu is one of those guys that's been looking good all year long on an individual level, even if his team hasn't quite kept up in terms of actual match wins.
Yeah, I mean, he was an early contender for Rookie of the Year. He had petered off a little bit more as the season went on, especially during Guangzhou's, I think, massive losing streak in Stage 2.
Yeah.
But he's starting to re-enter that conversation once again now, and we're seeing how strong he can be in this meta. So, Ana play obviously been exceptional for Shu, and Bedosin, he's got the Ana, but he has been moving into, I think, the more effective compositions for London have been double sniper Batiste, and so it's the Batiste we're really looking for today.
And the most important stat of all, biotic grenade kills for 10. Yes, that is the Ana stat that Doa demands right there. I'm glad we got that on there. Let's take a look at our map set brought to you by Toyota. We're going to start things off on Lijiang Tower for control, then we're going to Hanamura for our assault map, finally Blizzard World for hybrid, and then Havana for escort. And if we're lucky enough, we'll get that 5th and final tiebreaker map. I hope we do.
Yeah, we'll be Busan in this case if we do go to map 5, but this is definitely, I think, one of the most hype series of this week.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Because these are two teams on the rise that have looked a lot stronger in the 2-2-2 meta.
Well, a lot of questions too, because their opponents in week 1 were arguably fairly weak opponents on both sides. You could say Philly should be stronger, but they've just hit a little bit of a slump recently, it seems like. But either way, I feel like this is going to be the real first test for both of these teams here in Stage 4.
We're going to see London Spitfire coming out with Birdring on the Reaper. So we'll be May Reaper, and they're going to keep Fury on the Diva for the time being. Guangzhou, though, hop on the Zarya.
Yeah, Nero on the Doomfist. So they're going Ryan Zarya, something we've seen a lot less of in the first week of Stage 4 since the Rollock was instituted here. See Birdring can sneak around and get people on the Reaper. Rio with the first kill early on. Gesture down fast. Now they've got the Reinhardt a bit cornered. Can they take out Rio? And even if they can, it looks like. That said, Guangzhou charge, stays on the point. They get that Mei wall up and block Spitfire from coming in.
Yeah, but they're going to have the Orisa coming back just a little bit faster, so they get the control point, but it is going to be a free... Nope, Reinhardt's going to get there just in the nick of time, but that's an important kill for Prophet.
You know, Orisa may have 4 legs, but Reinhardt has a huge rocket on his back, so he's going to get places a little bit quicker, apparently. Nero with a nice kill onto Fury there, the D-Mech and the D-Life as well. Nero going for another rocket punch. He's already got that Meteor Strike. Gonna come down? Perhaps. Just playing it safe. Why not? A little bit low health. Going for the health pack instead of the big play. You're a little bit low again. And the Blizzard! Cancel! Prophet died during the animation, so no ultimate there. Bedosin down as well. And it's looking really good for Guangzhou so far in this round here.
Yeah, it definitely is.
Not bad.
London is just not changing their composition, even though this nano-boosted Reinhardt was tearing them apart there.
Yeah. Chara down, so Charge may have gone a little bit too aggro there. He's on Lucio though, so he's gonna be able to get back in a hurry, but London rushes in. They might be able to take advantage of the fact that Charge doesn't have a sound barrier right now. Blizzard, that one goes off. This one from Happy. And it's gonna lock up Gesture for a little bit here. Maybe not. No, he's able to kind of power through it with that defensive cooldown on Orisa, but not able to power through the fist though. Nero takes him down, and now Rio just waiting for a chance at that juicy shatter, and there it is. Gets 2. And that's going to be enough. Has to exit out of that one, but it's all about slowing London down now.
Yeah, they're trying to muscle their way back onto the point. Profit trying to use some of these walls to prevent follow-up on things like the Graviton Surge, but this mobility of the Doomfist helping out the Guangzhou Charge quite a bit. Profit gonna come back in now, see if he can isolate the Reinhardt.
He's had a tough time the entire round. See if he can do it now. They managed to take him out, but Doshin getting the killing blow there. Profit chilling out in the ice block. Pun sort of intended, not really. He's got another Blizzard though. This one got canceled. They do manage to take the point too.
Yeah, they're gonna flip it. There's no need for Guangzhou really to commit to this. Look at this, they've almost got the Space Jam combo already.
All right, Blizzard coming in. London trying to decisively win this fight. Get a few more kills here, but Nero comes back. Meteor Strike on a quartermain. They don't save it for the Zarya ultimate instead. A little bit surprising there, but I mean, I don't know. Do you think he should have saved that one?
I think like that's a combo that can absolutely just go ahead and win you this point if you can execute it. So Nero using it at the tail end of a fight to pick up a support kill, maybe not be the best use. They also used the nano boost in that last one. Prophet just gonna go ahead and right-click Shu into oblivion.
You know, sometimes you just find that Mei headshot with the right click. It does so much damage, and it can certainly do that. It can take out those lower health heroes pretty fast. One shot a Tracer even.
Ring staying here in the corner. Doesn't quite have the death loss of yet, but he's gonna go ahead and reposition. Makes better of it.
Time to flee. Tactical retreat. That's what it is. Guangzhou Charge coming in with a bit of an ult advantage. Bedoshin actually trying to make use of that Mei wall to get more damage of the Coalescence. Going to force out the sound barrier from Charge now, getting aggressive with the Blizzard here. Happy drops it. There's a shatter, and that's going to knock down Prophet. Can they finish him? Bird ring though from the top ropes. He gets a 3K with the Death Blossom.
Into the Blizzard, the combo. London pulls it off. And now all of a sudden they might run it back from 0% here. Guangzhou sort of careless with their ultimates in the last couple of fights, and that's allowed London to get back into this one.
Yeah, you can't give London an inch. I mean, come on. This is London Spitfire. They won the league last year. They look so good in week number 1. Guangzhou getting a little bit lazy at the end of the round. We'll see if they can turn it around to the kill on the Prophet. That's a 6v5 they can use to try to flip this back. They do have 99% right now. If they can flip it, they can win the round, and that's Rio with 2 kills already. It's a good start. Gesture's down. It's looking okay for the Charge so far. They will flip it, and I think they might be able to turn it around here at the very end anyway.
They're gonna try and touch right now. They have a Doomfist. So Prophet's gonna get an opportunity to touch, but he's not gonna get an elimination.
That's it. It was a close call for the Charge here on the first round of Lijiang, but Control Center will be theirs after they can get Blast. The cleanup's done. Decent delay by Gesture, playing tetherball with himself there, but that's gonna be Charge taking the round.
Yeah, Guangzhou, you know, by the time that last fight occurred, they had the nano boost on the Reinhardt. So Ryu able to wade into the point and finally able to flip it after London didn't have really any ultimates remaining. It was a tenuous position, but London probably shouldn't have been able to bring it to 99-99 in the first place.
It really was only that like Blizzard Death Blossom combo that kind of gave them a real shot at taking that round anyway, which was entertaining. But you know, you can't count on that every time, even if it is profit.
Yeah, we are gonna see Night Market.
Oh yeah, I'd love some of that stuff.
Pachimari juice.
Ew. It's made with real Pachimari, so you know it's good. Yeah. Shudder. Ugh.
Would you juice a Pachimari?
I don't know. I don't know if I can talk about that on broadcast. Charge 1 round away from winning Lijiang Tower. Trying to get it done on Night Market.
It's going to be really hard for Happy. I mean, the sight lines go into the point, but they've got the Mei wall to block it off. And, well, they can just, of course,
you can
just pulse people into it.
That's the thing. You can also use the damage that Widowmaker does, even if she doesn't get the kills, to get easy kills with other heroes as well. Happy gets one-handed Gesture now. Charge, pulling people away. Ooh, that was so close to another halt into a headshot. Hot, but meanwhile, finished off Quarterman anyway. Nice pull. Goodbye, Mei. Wow. That is how you handle the ice caps. You drop them off the cliff.
Yeah, this is Guangzhou Charge using a pick composition here very effectively. So pulling the members of the London Spitfire into those sight lines, and they keep getting kills. Happy is just popping off.
Prophet literally died right as he respawned too.
That's brutal.
We're on Facing Worlds here or something. Happy thinks.
Happy just
headshots since he's through the spawn.
has the infrasight now, so he can go ahead and retreat, which will then slow up the London Spitfire advance. They try and get around. They're going to Maywall themselves off so they don't get hit by the shots coming in.
Oh, Scumbag Maywall comes in. London Spitfire gets split up. Gesture low health, got the shield up and got the healing just in time. Now Coalescence coming in from Bedosian, and that's a lot of damage being loaded onto the charge right now. And finally, Moira's gonna basically help everybody just get roasted.
They were all lined up there.
I know.
Or the Coalescence.
Like the dream Coalescence there. Every Moira main out there is like, oh man, I'm gonna think about that for weeks.
Point does flip over down. They have a Blizzard, but so does Nero. So we are looking at pretty similar ultimates here. Chara, opportunity to pump some damage into the point by using that amplification matrix as well.
Yep. All right, here we go. Amp matrix gets dropped down by Chara. Now the Blizzard comes in. Profit. Ice block to stay safe while he looks for more damage to be done. Got some freezes, but didn't get any kills. In fact, Birdring went down, and now Hotpa with the whole hog striking back, and that did not work out at all for London. Now they have to try to hold the point with less people.
And
Maywall!
Nero still has the Blizzard as well.
Yep. Another split on London as Guangzhou comes in. Chara down. Fury caught up with the self-destruct somehow. That Blizzard, is that going to even hit anybody? I don't know. It's a zoning Blizzard. Don't worry about it. Happy over on the Hanzo now. Giving up on the Widowmaker. Wants a bit more of that front line damage with the Storm Arrows. He's the one who's going to get damaged. London Spitfire holds. I'm not surprised about that.
Yeah, the self-destruct was, it bought them time for their respawns to come through. So Gesture able to come in. Then he's able to just go ahead and use the supercharger to provide the necessary damage to carve through Guangzhou's tank line.
Huh.
So London here back to a forward defense, trying to get in close range. Happy getting close to that Dragon Strike right now.
And Maywall used to try to give Charge a safe place to engage the point on. They're going to turn it around anyway. Go back in the front way. Birdring waiting with that Death Blossom. He's got it ready to go. Meanwhile, on the other side, Happy does have a Dragon Strike up and running. Here we go, Nano Boost coming in. Dragon Strike goes through as Rio walks forward, swinging away. Birdring repositions and goes right the back line. 2 kills with the Death Blossom. And this is what I love about the new Shadow Step that rebrands. You can reposition so fast. And that actually wins them the point. That was great. That is new Reaper at his best.
Well, they were caught between the Blizzard on the point and then the very quick maneuvering of Birdring behind them. So there was no good choice there for the Guangzhou Charge, and London manages to send us to point 3. It's been a bit sloppy, you have to say, for both of these teams so far.
You say a bit sloppy, I say a bit entertaining. That's what I say. But either way, we're going to the Garden now to finish all of this, and we're going to see some Pharah from Prophet and Nero. This is a point we usually see a lot of Pharah on, but we will also see which one of these teams is able to get the lead in this series.
You're actually going to go for the Wrecking Ball here. So London going to prioritize some mobility, and the combination of the ball and the D.Va should be able to get onto the backlines, the supports of Guangzhou. So we're going to have to take a look for that, see exactly how successful they're going to be.
It's going to be a battle of Pharahs and then the Widowmakers who are trying to kill them.
All right, so Birdring, you see, he's going to be on the left side of your screen. He's coming in from behind, and Happy just going to get picked off by Gesture on the approach.
He tried to walk through that doorway, and he got met by a Wrecking Ball coming the other direction. That is not who you want to see coming through the portal there. It's going to be, Guangzhou having to give that one up early. And then Spitfire with the early percentage.
Yeah, that was a pretty nasty stagger. So Hoppa and Rio walked onto the point thinking that Happy was going to be able to spawn and get a sight line, but it never really happened. And Fury went back over towards their spawn to harass the Widowmaker as well.
I really don't think they were expecting Gesture to be on the Wrecking Ball here.
I mean, Gesture's Wrecking Ball hasn't been great, so I don't know how much of a threat that Guangzhou thought was coming in on this point.
2 kills already.
From Gesture's Wrecking Ball. So now a different approach here. Guangzhou going to go ahead. 4 players. Be maneuvering around the side right now. They did switch over to Ball themselves.
Yep. Just move across things a little bit quicker and going Widowmaker hunting and Ana hunting here. Nero has him kind of locked down in this back room. That's a lot of damage. That's 2 kills for Nero already. And Charge easily in position to retake this point.
That was a really good setup. It was a long flank from the Charge where Rio on the ball went all the way around the opposite side by London spawn and came around to isolate them inside of that pagoda on the opposite side of the point.
Yeah. Which looks like a nice place to have picnics, but not right now, of course. And some swaps coming in from London Spitfire. Gesture going to go over to the Winston. Birdring on the Sombra.
Dive composition from London. They really want to stop Shu right now. It's going to be their...
Goodbye. Bedosian.
Well,
staying a little bit too close
right
to the
off
edge.
the edge.
Yeah.
But the trade is they don't have much to deal with Afara right now outside of an EMP that will drop her to the ground.
Outside of Bedosian hitting some pretty sick shots too, which Ana players can do that. You can 3-tap Afara right now, I believe, but
yeah, they changed her back so you can.
That's the thing, is that you're also assuming that the Mercy's not going to get any healing, that you're not going to get killed by rockets, so it's not easy, but it's doable.
Nano boost right now onto the Winston. Nano boost now onto Nero.
That's right. Got the barrage, doesn't need it. Takes out Quartermain. Trying to look for a little bit more onto London now. 1v1 with Bedosian. Sleep Dart misses, and that's a rocket. That doesn't. Bedosian down, Nero with 2. Takes out both supports, and now comes back to the point to try to chase London away again. And Guangzhou Charge is taking the lead here in percentage. Nero down, doesn't really get much with that barrage though. Rez comes in, and that one got denied, I believe. Didn't seem like it finished.
Yeah, Prophet's still going to be coming around to the flank right here. 5 members of London, but the percent still keeps rolling for Guangzhou. They haven't been able to flip it at all.
Well, that's the thing. They barely made any progress at all to even start flipping the point right now. And here comes the self-toss. Oh, the hack! The hack Prophet couldn't blink away, and he just barely didn't get back behind the pillar. I guess Happy's the one who finished him off, but still, that EMP paying dividends for London, but they're still not able to flip it.
And Birdring still doesn't have an EMP, Doa. Remember, this flipped at 0% for Guangzhou, and we're up at 97, and he hasn't been able to build EMP.
98, 99, and now Guangzhou Charge looking to win this map with one more team fight win on London Spitfire. Birdring his EMP is going to be critical if he can get it and use it effectively. He's on the point right now. Prophet with an ultimate as well. There goes the EMP. Rio can't really walk around too much. Pulse Bomb saved. Stuck to the D.Va instead. Great use of abilities there. Gesture down though. So the tank out of the way. They do flip it.
They do
London
flip it.
Stays alive.
But they haven't been able to deback this D.Va the entire time, and the damage continues to come in.
Another counter EMP from Happy now.
Only hits Quartermain.
Yeah, that's right. Not the greatest we've seen. Charge trying maybe a little bit too desperately to flip it back.
Yeah, that's another time where I think we saw in that first point that Guangzhou might have wanted that ultimate back, because there was plenty of time for them to just group up and try for another push with that EMP. Instead, they use it. Now they have one fewer tool in this next engagement.
It seems like in some of these moments, it's been a little bit too much of an emphasis is trying to be an individual hero than work as a team, you know?
Yeah, the longer they give London right now, the closer Birdring is going to get to another EMP himself. So London looking like they're in really good position to take this point.
And Nero sneaking in there with the barrage. Ooh, has to reposition. Gets the healing he needs here. Now Minefield gets used by Rio on the point. Shoot down. Good stuff for London. Oh, that was nearly a knockoff. Luckily, Winston has his jump pack available. Gesture's still alive, but Rio takes out Bedosian. Shu gets res, and now Charge right back in it, trying to turn it around, but Nero's down. Maybe the self-destruct. No kills out of that one.
Where's the EMP, Doa?
It's right here. Birdring uses it. Gets 2, but it's the important ones, Hotba and Shu. Hotba gets demected immediately here. Meanwhile, Pulse Bomb doing work for Prophet as well. And London
shutting down their coalescence.
They might take this map instead. Birdring escaping, trying to get away here. Gesture on the point. It's such a back and forth battle here. Now Happy, the one close to the EMP, and he's going to use his. Hits 3 on London Spitfire, and they do nearly flip it back. It's so close already between these two teams, but now the Lucio's down on the Guangzhou Charge side. How do you try to get back into this one? Gesture got the Primal Rage now. He can use it. Nero and Shu both down. Goodbye. Hotba as well, and I got a feeling it's going to be London coming out on top here, and it will be. Wow, it does not get any closer than that on Control, but London with the lead in this series.
Looked like Gesture accidentally killed Tracer at the end there because he got booped back and then landed on her.
It happens, you know? Wins the thing. It's unwieldy, right? Wow. Great start to the series. I'm already out of breath. Coming back with map 2 right after this.
The Overwatch League is powered by Intel. Game, record, stream without compromise on Intel Core i7. And by Omen by HP, the official PC and display of the Overwatch League.
Can't wait for those grand finals. As you can see, the London Spitfire, one of our 2 teams in the match right now, won it all last year. You can get tickets at overwatchleague.com for this year. And one wonders, with the way London looked in week 1, is this team going to make the finals again?
It definitely seems possible at this point in time. So take a look at this. We're going to take a look at Gesture here. This is just funny. He accidentally kills Nero on Prophet at the end of that round.
Going to get a shot of that in a second.
Sometimes you just get lucky with your leaps, right? So here's Nero. Now watch, he's going to get booped. He's going to get booped here backwards. So he's going to jump in. There's the boop. And he probably didn't think the monkey was coming right back at him. But
excuse me. You know, that's rough, right? Because of the lore, you know, Winston, Tracer are really close, so that's rough to see from a lore perspective. But gotta love it, because the thing is, with that leap, the damage doesn't happen until you land. Right. Doesn't matter if you're repositioned in the air. That damage is still gonna happen.
I mean, I understand Nero's like, oh, he's jumping. I'm probably safe to go behind him and attack the backline, but no, just got a face full of monkey butt.
Yep, that happens sometimes.
Does it?
That's one of.
Does it happen to you often?
Sure does. You know, one of life's great mysteries.
Why is there so much monkey butt in your life, Doa?
That's I can't answer that one. That is just a topic for another time, and another game.
Ask him on Twitter.
Ask me on Twitter. We're going to Hanamura. It's gonna be our assault map. You're never gonna let me live that one down.
Nope.
I wasn't paying attention to you. That was a problem.
I know.
Sometimes I was thinking about something else.
Sometimes I can slide those comments in there and then ask you questions, and then it turns out like that.
It's like, yep. You got me. I'll give you that one. See if London Spitfire will be able to get the 2-0 lead here on Assault. They are attacking first, going for the Mei Widowmaker again, it looks like.
All right. Playing a lot of Moira.
Yeah, he has
here
been
today.
I mean, she's good against DPS. It's a safer pick, and Coalescence can be both damage and healing, so it does have that flexibility. Ooh, some swaps though. Birdry going for the Reaper now. They're going to just try to break down the front door, it looks like.
Yeah, they want to play the point as well, so they need to push out the barrier here from the front. Prophet going to get grabbed, but Birdring, he's going on a solo mission to deal with Happy. Takes away the sight line.
Secret Agent Reaper going to the point before anybody else. Tempting Guangzhou to come at him. Oh, but the sleep dart. Yeah, really nicely done by Shu. He's going to just sleep in his icy tomb, it looks like. There we go. He's okay. Ice block now. Backing away is Nero, and now London well positioned on the point. That's a big bio grenade. Huge anti-heal, but the healing coming in now. And Prophet with the kill on Nero. That's a big one. Hook from Hotba. Oh, the sleep dart onto Fury, but they can't pop him out of his mech. Not just yet, but another anti-heal might do it. Badosian with that super fast Coalescence, trying to keep his team up. Nice boot by Quartermain, actually, to knock a Rio off the edge, and that is going to be a quick point A. Wow.
Yeah, very fast point A. And Birdring is just teleporting around, harassing Happy. We saw at the start of that how he went up to the high ground, then he was putting pressure on him after he repositioned using the grappling hook, and he just tracked down Happy on the flank. So right now, London, they're just playing to shut down Happy. Also, as you noted, the Moira going to be effective for healing up a lot of that damage that isn't headshots. And with the Coalescence too, you can sort of shut down the long range aspect of Widow too if you can just get close enough for the tip of that Coalescence.
Hotba really killing the Prophet. Good start for Guangzhou on the defense anyway. They've got a lot of ultimates to use too, so now it's all about efficiency. And they're going to use that Amp Matrix to capitalize on the efficiency with the kill on the Gesture, D-Mech, and Fury. Everything looking pretty good. Ooh, nice fade there by Reaper.
Yeah, Guangzhou came out of that fight with a lot of ultimates. They're going to try and deal with this Diva right now, stagger as much as they can.
And this is one of the points in all of Overwatch that you can stagger Diva the longest on. It's
wall, freeze,
body block, haul off the edge, sleep dart, basket. You just put a basket on her as well. Yep. Oh my goodness. Oh, please hide your children.
Hoppa. Murdering people in their sleep.
What he's best known for, you know? There's different things people are known for in their player careers. Murdering people in their sleep. That's apparently Hotba's thing. We've learned. Be trying to line up another shot here. Oop, finds one. On a Birdring, a little bit of damage there, but he's gonna get healed up. Venom Mine activated. Got the sights on the Lucio now. Got the sights on everybody now. And there's the wall, trying to block a few people up. They did manage to split a little bit of London, but not much. They're going to try the sound barrier, but now the anti-heal comes in. Blizzard gets used, doesn't matter. Nero down, Birdring got a kill there. And now onto the point, London goes with their own Blizzard, trying to just separate the members in charge. Happy is down already. Prophet looking for another one. It's going to be the nano boost onto the Orisa. Rio running for the health pack, though. It's a small health pack. It's not going to matter, man. You're dead anyway. London Spitfire steamrolling the second point. Shu did get the kill on the Quartermain, and there's no res, so maybe a chance to turn it around, but it's already going to be 2 ticks for London, getting closer and closer. And it's going to be a little bit of a delay from Happy. He's going to go down, and London takes point B in a hurry.
That was very loud, Reaper sound effects.
Die, you know?
Well, you know, if you can't beat London on the control map that they lost both of last week, they were so dominant on Assault, Escort, and Hybrid that it's going to be hard to stop them for the Charge at this point.
Yep, sure enough. Quick break, and when we come back, Charge gets their chance to attack. Welcome back to Hanamura, ladies and gentlemen. It is time for the Guangzhou Charge to go on the attack and see if they can make some progress on tying up the time bank of London Spitfire, but it is a pretty big one. 3 minutes and 25 seconds, and that's an especially impressive time bank because, again, like we mentioned, with the changes on assault maps, the defending team really does get the best chance to get a stop on that first push. So the momentum that attacking teams used to have on assault maps is really limited now.
Yeah, it has been dialed back a bit. It is also harder to snowball given the defender respawn timer changes as well.
Exactly.
So we're not going to see as many high point 6 to 5, 7 to 6 assault maps as we used to.
We will see. Guangzhou Charge on the attack. A little bit of scouting. We'll see if they change anything up. Chara and Happy waiting back. And it looks like we'll be Rio swapping over to the Orisa.
What's interesting about London's game plan today is that they've been running a lot more of this Diva for Fury rather than running the Roadhog. And I think this is just a response to Happy. I think London believes that if they have the mobility to shut Happy down, then Guangzhou is going to lose this match. And we haven't seen Guangzhou really adapt to that yet. They're using the Reaper to track him down. Fury's also been really trying to get into the back lines to prevent Happy from really getting sight lines, creating picks. Happy popped off a little bit on control, but he has largely been absent here so far on this assault map.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. When the Reaper shows up right next to you and you're Widowmaker, it's going to be tough to win that 1v1. Oh, nice shot. Wow, that Immortality field actually saved him there. Saved Fury for the moment anyway. He's still up. Nero gets a kill onto him anyway in the end. So now Charge able to push forward with a man advantage. They've got Birdring down as well. Mortality field impressive, but ultimately not going to get even back into for mech as well. Gesture down.
They're just popping off too.
Yeah,
he's a limbs at range, and try and stagger this out a little bit. Quartermain still going to be
jump,
leaping excitedly on the point.
I know. Yeah, every once in a while you can mess people up with that, you know? You got to go for it. If you're trying to fight that as Batiste, of course you're going to use that the exo boots to get a little bit of height over your opponent, but there's only so much you can do with a 1v5, right?
Yeah, it's interesting too. You know, we talked about Bedosin playing a lot of Batiste, but it's actually Quartermain here, so they're running the Batiste and Ana combination, which is, again, part of the strategy they must have devised for this week of play.
It's so much healing. They're going to swap away from it now. Quartermain over to the Lucio.
Yeah, they're swapping away from it because they need the speed boost with their low-range composition.
Right.
Now that they have the Reaper instead.
Love that we're seeing more Reaper again. Such a cool hero. Or maybe he's like a cool as in he sort of tries too hard hero, but you know, he's still kind of cool. Birdring dropping down from on high. A lot of damage onto the tanks here. A lot of ult charge. And a ton of bullets being delivered. Gets out with the Wraith form. Happy down, even though his ult was up. But he's going to be able to use that for the next approach. So I mean, nice little tool there.
There's still a lot of dead members of London right now,
so.
Noah. There's still 4 members of the Charge on this point, and Shu is popping off.
Yeah, the respawns are coming in, but Charge had more people survive than initially thought. Point being captured right now. There's a nice delay by Prophet. That's going to give time for more respawns to come in. Gesture gets onto the point right now. Supercharger taken out by Birdring. Going back for another one. Forces a Transcendence out. That's going to do a lot of the damage reduction that they need to stay on the point right now. Charge trying to make this push work. Shu, of course, has to back away, but he can load out a lot of damage with that Zenyatta. Nearly 2 ticks taken by the Guangzhou Charge so far.
Yeah, London, they died. Too many of them died during that blizzard on the point, and now it's looking very desperate. I mean, as the Guangzhou Charge are probably going to end up with a better time bank.
They had that one chance with the Reaper, but the Transcendence from Shu really paved the way. That said, Rio does get 1 kill, and London manages to bring it back. What a crazy series this has been.
Yeah, stall heroes actually end up doing work. Now, what happened to even create this scenario where Guangzhou nearly capped the point was that Happy had an off angle. The rest of his team was trapped in that room with the Blizzard, but the Nano Boost allowed them, and the Immortality Field slowed down London's ability to kill the tanks during the Blizzard, and then Happy was able to get a crossfire and pick off some of the members. So Charge ended up in a 4 versus 3 situation at the start of that fight and nearly capitalized on it.
So now if we look at London, they've got the sound barrier in just a second. Birdring's got his Death Blossom up and running. Here with the Blizzard. Shu's closer to another Transcendence. I think the Transcendence is really key against the kind of stuff that London's going to be throwing at you, you know? Things like Death Blossom and all that. Trying to go in now. They separate the Orisa. Going to jump down onto Rio. They wall down as well. Birdring, who nearly dies, barely gets out in time. Gonna go back up on the high ground, see if he can drop down with an ultimate here. Having to fight it out with Hanzo now. Happy making that swap, and now the Supercharger down. Shu gets a kill on a Gesture. London in a little bit of trouble already. There goes Prophet. He dies right as he throws out the Blizzard as well. And Charge once again coming out on top of this attack, and they only need 1 more tick to take this round. That was a nice try, Birdring. You can't hit them all, you know.
It was a desperation Death Blossom there, but the delay continues, Noah.
99%. London delaying as long as they can. Any second they can take off the time bank is worth it. Can they get any kills? No, not quite. Hotbo with the 2K self-destruct, and Quartermain not gonna last too long on the Batiste. That is it, and Guangzhou Charge, they get it done, but credit to London. Long delay, a lot longer delay than I think we thought they were going to get initially, but they were able to maintain the better time bank.
I mean, they committed too many resources to dealing with Happy's Hanzo at the end of that round, and the rest of Guangzhou cleaned up the point.
Quick break and then extra innings when we come back. Extra innings here in the land of
Double Dragon,
I guess. No, that's a different game. I can't talk about it. 2 points for each team. Better time bank though for London, 3:25 in the clock for them, 1:49 for Guangzhou Charge. They will be on the attack first because of it. But a scouting time from Rio. Nope. I'm just gonna swap over to the Orisa right away. What do you think about Shu on this Zenyatta?
Well, I think the Transcendence was working out really well for them last time. I think it's going to be better in situations where they are playing into the Reaper, but London only transitioned to that on their defense after point A was taken.
Yeah. I mean, Zenyatta's been a little bit under pressure in the meta lately. A lot more DPS jumping into the back lines than
Nice biotic grenade.
But as usual, the biotic grenades from both of these supports, honestly, throughout this series. London Spitfire holding the door for the moment anyway. Guangzhou Charge though building up those ultimates, trying to push through and just looking for one good pick. One good pick is all it's going to take. They do split Gesture off. Maywall comes down. A little bit in the favor of Gesture there, actually. Hero helping him out a little bit there. Rio gets frozen, but the Immortality Field there to keep him alive long enough for him to run into the room and get some health back. And there's the Matrix. Maywall getting burned through in a hurry here. They did lower the health on the pieces of the Maywall a while ago, so it is a little bit easier to shoot through that now. And Matrix on the other side, but meanwhile, time is running out for Guangzhou Charge. They are down to just over 30 seconds remaining.
Yeah, but they're starting to make some level of progress. It really matters about the respawns right now, whether Rio gets staggered or not.
Yeah, that's the thing. Now Rio is
Zero
big
kills too.
trouble.
That is huge up there. Nero.
If they can at least get one tick, that's something here.
Yeah, Nero has Blizzard. He's hiding up top right now. They're trying to find him here. He's in this
They
room.
can find him. Ice block. He's just got to survive long enough for his team to get back. Hotba there to try to protect him. Maywall's coming in. 10 seconds now for Guangzhou Charge. It's going to be Prophet with the Blizzard. One-man Blizzard just to make sure Nero could not use his effectively. Chara with the kill on the Gesture though. Ooh, and there goes Chara. Guangzhou Charge on the point. Can they possibly scrap out this fight? Transcendence coming in just to get Shu to the point, keep people healed. Hotba got anti-healed, so none of that Transcendence healing actually went through. Had to take a breather, but they did get a tick. Like you said, that is big too when it comes to these time bank modes. They might even get 2.
Nero.
They got a chance here.
Nero made the plays, Toa.
Yeah.
You gotta say it, like him hiding in there after getting those 2 kills, he actually did it. And he's going to help his team get the point because the respawns are faster. So he gets a double kill onto Ana and onto Bird Ring on the Widowmaker, hides, and then the Blizzard that he uses sets up a kill. Chara races in there with the Lucio to finish off Gesture, and that pushes them over the finish line.
Wow. And now the momentum here onto point B. Whole hog being used by Hotba again. If they can at least just get one tick, that's big. Oh, the Fury catches him with the self-destruct. That's exactly what London needed as they push back in here. Rio trapped, isolated, taken out, and that is going to be a dead Zenyatta in a hurry. Prophet wasting no time in putting an icicle through the Chrome Dome, and Prophet putting a Blizzard on the point again just for good measure, and this should be where the push stops. But hey, credit to Charge. They made it work with not much time, and even getting a single point in this situation is pretty big. Now it's on London to try to win it.
Yeah, and it sets up, you know, the possibility of a draw here for the Guangzhou Charge by taking that first point. You know, with the time bank that London had, you know, it seems like they'll probably be able to take point A, but taking the first tick on B is now harder. Remember, the snowball mechanic has been lessened with those respawn timers on the defense.
Right. Prophet on your screen right now. Been doing what he can, and he's had some pretty good plays. So
As usual.
Oh yeah.
As usual.
I mean, it is Prophet we're talking about here.
I definitely in the conversation for best Overwatch player on planet Earth, so.
Yeah. But the thing is the pressure is on a little bit for London here. Not only do they need to take point A to at least get the draw, they need to take another tick on B to try to get the 2-0 in this series. 2-0 lead, rather. Guangzhou Charge on the defense. They've got Happy on the Hanzo right now. Interesting. All right, going for the big combos. If you can get one big halt into Dragon Strike combo, that can kind of end the push right there.
I think also that they just, it's a little bit different because he's more capable of defending himself at close range than Widowmaker, and they know that London's plan has been to try and get in Happy's face and shut him down. So it does seem like a little bit of a safer pick, even if you don't necessarily have such an immediate long-range threat when it comes to having that instant damage via hit scan.
Birdring waiting to teleport up onto the roof there. Does just that. Takes a big shot though, right as he does it. Has to get back onto the point, gets the healing, and he's on there already. Aggressive move from London. They get hit with an anti-heal, but Guangzhou charge on the outside looking into this defense. Oh, except for Rio, who's the only one in there. And that is not what you want. Your main tank split off from the rest of your team, taken out. Great start for London on the attack here. It looks like this is actually going to be a really quick point A and could just pave the way for a quick London win on map 2.
Oh, this is not good for Guangzhou. Now they're gonna have to switch up their composition as Hoppa moves over to the Diva. They got very little ult charge out of that attack. Meanwhile, you look at Coalescence, gonna be coming up pretty soon here, self-destruct also. And London, you know, they use that speed boost to get over to the point, and when you're trying to retake into the Reaper and the Moira, it becomes incredibly difficult.
Birdring just powering his way through the May wall, now looking for a kill on the Prophet, perhaps. Over to the high ground on the other side. No Death Blossom yet. Ooh, that's a lot of damage on Achari. Manages to exo boot leap his way over the wall.
Coalescence up
stay
now.
alive. Yeah, that's the thing. Notion with the Coalescence going to be loading a lot of damage and healing into this fight right now. The May walls from Prophet have been so good, separating the right people from London at the right time. Oh, and Fury gets 2 though with the self-destruct.
Support.
Guangzhou charge in big trouble, and London only needs a bit more of that one tick to take the point. And I think they're gonna get it. It's all about heroes trickling in now for Guangzhou charge on the defense, and that's that. 2-0 lead going into the half for London.
That was some exceptional coordination from London, especially between Fury and Birdring. When that Shadow Step was used, Fury was there, and there's so much burst damage with the micro missiles on the Diva and then the shotguns from the Reaper. So that's really good flanks.
I mean, such good coordination, like you mentioned, and again, Prophet looking like a superstar. Those May walls, I mean, it essentially, I think, was a big part of winning in both of those maps, splitting off Rio on point A and then doing a similar thing on point B, but it was really Fury's go-ahead self-destruct, picking up 2 that paved the way for London to take this map.
Oh, the placement is just perfect. Look at that, it just squeaks right around the corner. The halt to drag them in. Beautiful.
You don't want to be sitting on that. It's going to be halftime when we come back, guys. Don't go anywhere.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by T-Mobile, now connecting 99% of Overwatch League fans. Catch your league on America's network, T-Mobile. And by State Farm. Whatever life brings your way, State Farm is here to help life go right.
Team up for special attack. I'm on fire. Cease your resistance.
Oh, let's break it. Damn! Let them up.
Hail the Mahal.
The Guangzhou Charge and London Spitfire both riding hot streaks coming into this one. But it's London that's been on fire in this game. They're currently up 2-0 over Guangzhou at the half. Welcome back, everybody. We're inside the Blizzard Arena. Awesome crowd and awesome people breaking down the games. We've got Bren, we've got Zoe. In our first game, one of the most ridiculous controls we have seen this stage, without a doubt. 92 final blows were scored, and most of them from the DPS.
What a bloodbath of a game, wasn't it?
It really was, but it was a big back and forth, and that's actually surprising considering that London does have a history of not being too good on control maps, specifically on that first control map. So it was great to see them going toe-to-toe against what we thought could potentially be the stronger team, at least in that first map.
Yes, ridiculously backwards and forwards between these two teams. And like you said, Zoe, as well, London, they've kind of got a history now for not being able to really close out a lot of these map ones, the opening map of control, but they just managed to clinch it in the end. And a lot of this comes down to the fact that I feel like they've definitely been working on a lot of their coordination when it comes to Prophet and Birdwing playing the Reaper and the Mei, which we're going to see a lot more of as well as we move into the map 2 highlights individually. But in general, I think London is always, especially in this stage, they win and lose the games based off the back of their DPS play. The tanks can only do so much.
I do want to compliment Gesture there, or rather pass on a compliment Josh gave him, as I think Monty also mentioned it up in the Craster booth. Gesture didn't look too hot on Hammond in the past, but he clearly has been working on it, and that did take the Guangzhou Charge by surprise. I don't think they actually expected him to come out on that Hammond, and that caused a lot of trouble and a lot of space, or created a lot of space for Birdring as well as Prophet to go in there when they played a little bit more divey.
One of the league's best main tanks, being awesome on main tanks. Good to see Gesture on top of his game. But so I want to ask, from that first map, who was the best DPS player in your eyes?
Oh man, this is a tough one because I feel like each individual had a lot of kind of shining moments and everyone kind of stood out. I was very impressed with Birdring on Reaper, which he carried on into the second map. Happy has been shut down quite a bit by London Spitfire, so we didn't see as much from him. However, Nero on that Mei once again caused a lot of issues for the London Spitfire, so they had to work around that.
Brent, we wanted to see a little bit more Reaper, and we got it in our second map. Hanamura, both teams pretty successful on the attack here. What's going on the defense?
Well, we had an inkling that this game was going to be close, honestly. But when we were predicting this match, a lot of us were thinking, you know, there's a chance here that the Charge are going to be taking it. And they've shown us that in spades, it feels like. However, London have just been getting the edge when it comes to, again, it's carrying on what they've been doing well in map 1, which is a lot of the DPS play between them. However, got to give credits to Nero here on your screens. This guy has been phenomenal, but it has been the Birdring show overall on his Reaper. I mean, he's been pulling this out. In the pre-show today, our watch point show, I kind of pointed out the fact that I expected to see more of Birdring on the Widowmaker, more or less. But this has really been working for the London Spitfire. I feel like they found a sort of a style that's working for them and really plays into a lot of their teamwork aspect. You know, these guys, they play together for such a long time now.
Also, lots of credits to the London Spitfire. They did identify Happy as one of the main issues on the other side, and they have been shutting him down effectively on that map too, which made him look kind of quote-unquote useless, for a lack of a better word. However, it did give Nero a lot of space and the rest of the team to then still clutch it out and make it a close one.
If you're trying to be critical, you saw one moment where too many London players went to shut down Happy and they gave up the point. But Bren, we were watching the maze throughout this first half, and one of the stars has definitely been Prophet.
Yes, it has. And I've got an insights powered by Intel that really breaks down what Prophet is doing differently to Nero individually in terms of his Ice Wall usage. So you'll see here, this is right at the start of the game. And Prophet is the guy I really want to focus on with his Ice Walls. Birdring as well, he's going to be the vulnerable target. And Prophet's going to use his Ice Wall in a really smart way to try and save him. So as we play this clip out, you'll see actually Nero's going to be taking a long flank here up into the left side, working his way onto the point and set up an aggressive Ice Wall to try and bring down Birdring, to try and block him off from the rest of the team and try and take the 1v1. As this happens, you'll see Birdring, he's going to be vulnerable. He gets slept up from the side here from Shu. Prophet immediately notices, turns around, and reacts instantly with a defensive Ice Wall onto Nero, completely blocking him off from getting any damage off onto Birdring. And this is one of the instances that you see. Nero, he can't do anything here. He's forced to take this like weird battle where they're just spraying each other with ice from the side here, but he completely locks him out of the team fight. This is just one of the instances where Prophet's using that Ice Wall really, really well. The second instance comes here. Again, point A, I want you to pay attention up here to Hopper on the Roadhog. He's been blocked off into this little sort of corridor here, and he thinks he's going to be able to come back into the fight, but Prophet is there waiting. And what he's going to do, again, lay down the Ice Wall straight across and block off Hopper. Now, you could go for a freeze, you could try and kill Hopper here, but instead he used the Ice Wall because the Ice Wall is just as good as a kill. Hopper is now out of the fight for several seconds, and he's doing nothing. He's getting no value whatsoever, whilst the rest of the London Spitfire are able to clean up the team fight around them. That was just 2 instances right at the start of the game of Prophet using those Ice Walls really effectively, but he had so many throughout the entire match. And if you use the replay view at home as well, watch Prophet's POV and take a look, because he is so smart when using that one ability.
Blocked off the hog, killed the healer up top. I love it so far. Prophet and Nero have looked so good on the Mei. The final question I have for you guys is, looking at the numbers for the first time, this is fresh for both of you, who is the better Mei in the game right now? Is it Nero from the Charge, or are you going with Prophet from the London Spitfire?
I'm going to stick with Prophet, just because the statistics are not going to show the value he's getting with the Ice Wall. There's no numbers that are going to show that. But statistically, Nero is getting an edge in a lot of these categories. I mean, they're very closely matched, but he's just kind of edging out the numbers just on the side here. And this makes sense to me. I mean, Nero mechanically, he's very skilled on a variety of roles. He's almost like the Western version of Prophet himself in terms of what he can play.
I also think with the Mei, it's always a matter of who can get more space for the team. It's not necessarily you putting up those big numbers, it's you enabling the rest of your team with Blizzard efficiency, with your frozen uptime. And as we see here, Nero does have a little bit of an edge there. We don't see the Blizzard efficiency, but he's currently ranked 1 in the league in those metrics. So I do think you can make an argument for those, both of those players.
All right, it's all about the Reaper and the Mei in Stage 4, Week 2. We'll come back with more Frozen Hoses on the other side of the break. It's a Mei joke. Man.
They don't just play for a team. They play for every fan, every rival, every moment, every match. And when everyone watching expects the best, they perform with the best.
Let them out.
Welcome back, guys, to easily one of the most action-packed matchups we've had so far in the Overwatch League this year. It has been insane. So many kills, so much chaos, so much damage dealing being done. It's been great. It's been a good time.
It's been fun to see London's game plan coming into this match as well, because it's been very specific, and so far the Charge haven't had a lot of answers to Happy being harassed, being shut down. You know, occasionally we're seeing Nero step up, pop off, and at least get them that point that we saw on point A in a very dangerous situation, but it's just not enough right now to power the Charge to actual map wins, and they're gonna have to run it back, try and get that reverse sweep at this point.
Well, the thing is, a big part of it has been Prophet on the Mei. Like, his Mei walls have been so good. His right clicks have been fantastic. The Blizzards have looked very, very solid as well. And it's part of that strategy, right? Deny a lot of the shot-taking ability that Happy has by putting up that wall. And, of course, you can see #1 for career eliminations, #2, career final blows, damage in Overwatch League history. This guy is the preeminent damage dealer in Overwatch League.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about DPS players, and Prophet's name is certainly at the top, and he is carving out quite the career for himself. If we look at historically what he's been able to do, that's being #1 in the damage category, the #2 in the others is very impressive.
So unassuming too, you know. He doesn't look like the type of player that'll just take your face off in 0.05 seconds flat as soon as the match begins. But he'll do that.
He will
over and over again.
Just one unassuming Korean man with a bowl cut.
That's right.
Clicking people's heads.
That's right. You thought it was just another face in a crowd? No. That is the best damage dealer in the league, statistically.
His bangs are so perfectly straight.
That's right. I remember when I had bangs 20 plus years ago. Pretty much like it was age 5, and that was the end of bangs for me, I think.
Time to bring it back, Doe.
That's right. I'll work on that. I'll see what I can do. I'll get back to you on that one.
Tweet to Doe about bangs and how he needs them.
Doe bowl cut? I don't know. I already had one of those. I already did it in the 90s. The results were not good. You don't need to see it. Just trust me, right? Just trust me on that one. There's a picture out there. I know that. There is one out there on the internet. We're going to Blizzard World. Hooray! It's our hybrid map. That's right. Capture the objective, then move the payload. And don't shoot the probes, please. All they're trying to do is mine minerals.
Everyone always tries to shoot the probes.
I know, but you shouldn't do that.
Storm drop on the probes.
Bespin gas, yeah, that's right. Yep. Or, Cloak Banshee. That was always my favorite way to kill probes. Dirty Protoss players and their cheesy timing attacks. Don't get me started.
I like lurker drops.
Yeah.
Get them all at once. All right, so Prophet going to go ahead and...
Whoa, that works!
That, you do not expect that was amazing. You do not expect the teleporter Widowmaker surprise to click the head of your support. And it's even better because it's a Zenyatta. That Omnic is not getting back to that point anytime soon.
No way, he hasn't had those upgrades installed yet. He has to float slowly back in London, wasting no time getting out to point A. Guangzhou charge. Can they hold this off? Birdring turning around, coming in from behind, trying to get onto Chara as well. Immortality field out, but it dies almost immediately. London putting so much pressure, they've already got one tick here onto point A. Charge coming back in to try to defend. Look at that, Batoshin already has a coalescence too. The damage and the healing is just way too much, and this is where you really start to think, all right, is this going to be a team that's going to get back to the finals again? I'm talking back to the overall finals.
They tried there, but there's not enough members. The Dragon Strike not going to siphon enough people off into damage. The tanks stay alive for London. They cap the point.
Look at this.
Here we go.
Telefrag to a whole new level.
The telefrag right here. So he's going to look at first, and they just...
What? Who does that?
Shu was trying to peek around the barrier to volley, and he just gets wrecked.
You don't expect that. I mean,
no,
maybe
you don't.
should.
It's a fun strat, right?
Yeah, Fury just dancing on the payload. That's where we're at apparently in this match. Yep. So they could have programmed it to have, like, I don't know, some sort of extra escape vector so you wouldn't have to, like, destroy the mech over and over, but instead they actually programmed it to explode. It's the story of D.Va's mech right there. I know.
The engineering, not great.
Oh, that's a lot of spare ones. Oh, Quatermain down. So
yeah, nice shot from Happy.
Swap over onto the McCree there. Yeah. All right. High ground for charge, and Happy's starting to clean up. That's 3 already in this fight.
Badoshin, not sure what the purpose of that coalescence was, but...
He gets them so fast. It's kind of like, whatever. Spare the probes, please, Happy.
Yeah, it's interesting to see them not play Nuss at all this match, but it makes sense with what we're seeing. Like, they want the speed boost because they want to play a lot of this Mei Reaper and close the distance, and Quatermain is the better Lucio player on this roster. Guangzhou charge, mixing it up. I mean, I like the fact that Happy's on the McCree now. Another hit scam hero that he will be more than capable of playing, but also gives him that stun option.
Nice Mei wall this time from Nero. And Prophet drops the Blizzard. All right, Charge trying to escape as fast as they can. Birdring waiting for a chance to use that Death Blossom. Not even gonna need it. Getting some damage done, no kills, but setting up his teammates for a couple finishers. And that payload is nearly to the end of B.
Yeah, they're going to try and slow it down with Chara, but that's not going to be enough. And London Spitfire continues to roll through this map. They've only really lost that one team fight where Happy popped off on the McCree, and now they're heading in with nearly 5 minutes on point C. This is a lot of time for London.
Getting into the spooky, scary castle now, so Reaper's going to feel just at home here.
Back to his comfort zone, right?
It matches my dark and dangerous mood. I'm not sure if that was Reaper or Duke Nukem. I'm not quite sure what I was going there, but it's kind of Reaper. Guangzhou charge on the defense now. 4 ultimates. Ready to go. London Spitfire on the same side of things in the ultimate category.
Nice
Super
move.
charges. Oh, here he comes again! And he tried, he went for it, but Happy was there with the Deadeye, and there's the cleanup. The payload still moved forward a bit, but it will get stopped.
Methodically, tactically crouching on everybody, the Guangzhou charge. Well, that was a great boot from Birdring. They knew that that was going to come in, so they're able to combo the Blizzard with the Deadeye to pick up quite a few kills and keep themselves safe from the Death Blossom. But Guangzhou now running low on ultimates. London Spitfire doesn't have much to speak of, however.
Well, you never count out Fury with that self-destruct. He's going to engage with it. Self-destruct coming on the other side. Hotba gets caught, but they also catch Quatermain and Prophet with the kill onto Rio, though. They're going to be able to keep moving this payload forward a little bit, but with the respawns coming in, there's going to be another big fight coming in here.
Yeah, but what London really needs is that nano boost and the Blizzard to finish out this point.
Yeah.
We got everybody back right now. Nano boost probably going to go on to Fury here.
Well, Prophet's got the Blizzard, too. Happy getting chased away, has to roll to safety. Not so safe as Fury chases him down, though. And now the Blizzard, just to finish things off, saying, go ahead, try to approach the payload. It's not going to work. He can't do it. It's too cold. It's like Minnesota on the point. The London Spitfire finishes with a great time in the time bank.
Man, London just looking so good today. We had the questions last week, Doa. You know, their wins over teams like the Fuel and the Defiant weren't the most impressive, but the way they are dominating the surging Guangzhou charge is impressive.
Sure is. Guangzhou charge, though, with a chance to equalize when we come back. Welcome back to Blizzard World, where Guangzhou Charge is facing down a big time bank set by the London Spitfire. 3 minutes and 11 seconds for them. So Charge now having to come up with a pretty insane attack to try to equalize here. Ooh, Atlanta Rain versus Houston Outlaws on Sunday. That's going to be a good one.
Yeah, Atlanta Rain looking really good at the start of stage 4, and Houston also being able to pull off an impressive win so far.
Wow, look at that, Birdring, the first player in the league to cross 20 minutes of playtime in a single match on Reaper. Way to go. Malik will be giving you your reward later.
This is Malik's favorite meta of all time now.
Pretty much. Not since Beyblade. Has Malik been so excited to watch Overwatch.
All right, quick scout here from the Guangzhou Charge, and it's do or die. They've got to complete this map with enough time so that they can actually come back in this match. They can't afford to draw here on Hybrid because that will end the match.
Yeah.
Will not be able to get to 2 wins, which is what they need to beat the London Spitfire.
You got to go fast. For Guangzhou Charge, Bird Ring on the Hanzo, as you can see, on board with him right now. Prophet, of course, on the Mei. It's going to be Charge trying to loop around to the right from the low ground, but their Hanzo's a bit separated. Happy a little bit away from the rest of the team, and Bird Ring trying to zone him out. It is Hanzo v Hanzo, though.
I mean, the shield pressure should be better, and it is better
Yep.
for the Guangzhou Charge because they do have that damage from the Roadhog.
That's the thing, man. You keep firing those Roadhog shots into the shield, and it will take it out in a hurry. That Orisa shield does not have a ton of HP. Comes back fast, but goes down quickly, too. And that is going to be a quick point A. Yep, London just giving that one up. They're saying, all right, we want to take our defense to the payload section of the map.
Yeah, really methodical approach from the Guangzhou Charge, but that's how you play in this situation.
All right. Dude, Badoshin's going to, you know, if he could watch the kill cam on that, he would be like, oh, dirty lucky Hanzo just firing his arrows in there.
It's all right. Could be worse. Scatter Arrow could still be in the game.
Yeah, that is true.
I really did enjoy getting one-shotted by that randomly as a tank. That was fun.
Yeah. I mean, I
Good
enjoyed
riddance.
doing it as Hanzo.
Good riddance to Scatter Arrow.
Good. Well, see, we slowly weed things out like that over time in Overwatch. Scatter Arrow's gone. 3-3 is gone now. It's good stuff. Charge emerging from Snacks Ramus to try to push this payload. They're full of anger and energy for their push. And great food, too, for sure. Oh, a flashbang comes in and Prophet cannot survive. And a boost or Badoshin gets used. Gonna try to keep his tanks up at this point. But man, the sleep dart is so big onto Bird Ring. Gesture, that nano boost, well, not on him anyway. They tried to get the damage onto the Bird Ring, and now Gesture is down again, and Charge is continuing to push forward. It was a bit of a delay from London, and it's important to delay early on in the escort section of this map, because now London's gonna have time to regroup and defend again towards the end.
Yeah, Shu really delivering there on the Ana, shutting down the nano boost and Bird Ring's Reaper, so there's no chance of a comeback after Guangzhou gets that initial pickoff. And we said they needed to have a fast time, and so far this attack is going very well for the Charge.
So far, so good. Oh no, don't shoot Tazadar.
Team up for special attack.
Yep. All right, Supercharger dropped down by Rio as they try to just keep pushing the payload, controlling the high ground while they have a few people pushing below. He's got that Deadeye as well. Who's going to go forward as they try to dive him, and that's not going to go too well. Gesture and Fury Bolt picking up kills. Meanwhile, Prophet uses that Blizzard, and now, oh wow, I think he was trying to dodge the sleep dart with the ice block there.
Nano boost used onto him as well.
Yeah,
so,
anticipating that one.
yeah, gives him an opportunity to play a little bit further forward. Now he's going to go all the way up there.
Yep.
Onto the high ground using that ice wall.
I don't know why they don't launch nukes out of that Terran building there. That seems like a good way to end your opponent.
Yeah, it seems like the nuclear silo.
Yeah, that
be
is
useful.
It's the Ghost building, I believe.
It is.
It's been a long time. I can't even remember the name of it. How sad is that?
How many years did you cast StarCraft for, though?
Only like 2, like 3 or so. But I never really built Ghosts. So have to start coming in. Quartermain going down. I'll remember it at some point. It's been a while. You're putting me on the spot, Monty. Bird Ring down is also Charge. Okay, getting the kills. Trying to start pushing forward with this. Happy down, though. London able to use that Supercharger to keep the Charge at bay. I guess Supercharge beats Charge sometimes. Prophet. Oh, that is poetic justice right there. That's what for one of the Meis anyway.
Is it really as satisfying when the Mei dies if another Mei kills the Mei?
I mean, it's satisfying when the Mei gets frozen in headshot. But if it's from another Mei, you're right. It's not quite as satisfying.
There's still one too many Meis alive in that scenario for my liking.
Too many Meis? I agree. I'm sure there's a workshop mode that lets other people freeze other people.
All right, so Prophet's still back up on the high ground right there. This time a different approach, but Guangzhou are going to have their tanks hit by a biotic grenade on their way in.
You can try to cut through. Cafe here. shot rather. All right, Deadeye. Gonna get anything with it? Everyone scatters. London ducking for cover. Ooh, nice block. Profit got that off in just the nick of time. Man, does not get any closer than that. That was milliseconds we're talking about.
Great play from Profit to keep himself alive, and here we go with the Death Blossom.
Yeah, Death Blossom coming in. Oh, Sleep Dart at the end of it. That's right. The Beyblade is back again. Nano boosted Reaper Death Blossom. He doesn't quite move as fast as he did in the original Beyblade meta, but
It's still fun.
it's still bad. May Reaper, Nano boost abound. I like it.
Blizzard back up for Profit one more time.
Yeah, but we're down to under a minute here for Guangzhou charge as well. So they are really in danger of not even being able to finish point B.
Yeah, and reinforcements still coming in for the London Spitfire. One real attack here left for Guangzhou. Happy gonna switch over to the Reaper himself. Have a lot of ultimates to use, but they don't have the Blizzard. So Profit gets a good Blizzard down right now. This could be it for Guangzhou.
A lot of ultimates for Guangzhou though. Gotta use it. Maywall splits everybody up. There's a Blizzard coming in now from Profit. Coming down from on high. Sound barrier used. And they gotta get rid of the supercharger as well. Oh, now Bird Ring falling. Char gets one. London Spitfire still pushing forward. They got the tank and Hotba able to capitalize on that boop with the self-destruct kills. And you know what? Charge, their push may not be totally done yet here.
Yeah, Chara setting up the kill on the self-destruct gesture a little bit late.
It's gonna be overtime though.
With his shift, and he gets the CC, and there you go. Sound barrier coming in.
I mean, it took a long time for him to land, but he got there. Got the barriers onto Gesture and Bird Ring as well. London has the faster respawn, so anyone charge loses like Happy. It's a big loss. Hop out of the mech as well. Bird Ring, oh, that Wrecking Ball got booped away by Fury as well when he flew in. Nice sleep dart. No, it's not. No animals were harmed in the making of this match. Rio Tower. We're into overtime, and London on the verge of holding this one and winning this series. Oh, but look at that. The Blizzard gets eaten by Fury as well, so the last chance for Guangzhou charge taken away. They need a miracle to try to get it. They can't. That's a 3-0 for London. Still one map to play, but Spitfire take the series.
Yeah, Spitfire looking great. They continue to solidify their hold on one of our 6 guaranteed playoff slots.
Wow. Dominance by our current reigning Overwatch League champions, the London Spitfire, putting together quite the run here in stage 4. Let's see if they can finish it with a 4-0 when we come back.
The Overwatch League is powered by Intel. Game, record, stream without compromise on Intel Core i7. And by Omen by HP, the official PC and display of the Overwatch League.
Cease your resistance. Cease your resistance. وريهم this.
Well, London Spitfire looking nothing but dominant here in our series today. Our first series of the week. It's a 3-0 already for them. Control was a bit back and forth for sure. That was the closest map of the series. But after that, it's really been all London Spitfire, hasn't it?
Yeah, London didn't look good on Control last week. They didn't really look good on Control today, even though they won. But they look so incredibly strong on Assault, Hybrid, and Escort that it just might not matter if they lose Control consistently.
Well, like you mentioned, too, just a really good game plan coming into this one in terms of handling Happy with both the Maywall blocks, with the Reaper getting the back lines, and fighting that 1v1 that's pretty Reaper favored if you can get next to the Widowmakers. So
yeah, and having Quartermain in the whole match too. So I mean,
right.
Sometimes we have seen them switch Quartermain in and out for NUS. Today looks like it's just going to be in the whole series, and that plays into their game plan by using that Lucio speed boost, and then also, if they need it, running the Batiste and the Ana together.
Right. So we've got some new awards to announce. That's right, we're giving away some new ones this year in the Overwatch League. It's going to be the Rookie of the Year award. Obviously, it has to be a player that was not contracted to the Overwatch League last year. As you can see, voted on by general managers, head coaches, casters, analysts, and other media members. It's going to be announced in September. I think so. Definitely some. That's a really interesting one to think about this year. Actually,
Haksal.
Haksal? You think so?
Yes, definitely.
Okay. All right. That's it.
Even though
Haksal and nobody else.
Is Haxal's a rookie to Overwatch League, but we were casting him in 2016 at Apex.
That's
but
the thing.
He wasn't 18 until this year, which is crazy. He was like 16 when we started casting him.
Overwatch League rookie isn't necessarily like Overwatch rookie when it comes down to it. So yeah, Haksal obviously a long-time pro player. Meanwhile, we've got another one to announce. That's right. It's going to be the award called Roll Star. It's going to find out who the top 4 players for each role, damage, tank, and support, are going to be. Voted by the same people. And they'll be given special recognition next season.
I know. It's exciting.
Sick.
I'm excited about this. It's a way for us to really celebrate who are the best players at each position and honor them. So it'll be fun to see how the voting turns out for that as well.
If you get that, that's really a badge of honor too, that you can like wear and be like, look, I'm going to be a player that every other player aspires to be. Meanwhile, we got a substitution, Krillin, coming in. That's right. Heard there were some Dragon Balls in map 4. Going to try to find them. He's bringing the Sensu beans.
Hopefully he won't die.
Bidoshin here. Yeah, well, that's the thing. If you do die, then the beans don't help,
Yeah.
you know. Then somebody else has to get all the Dragon Balls together.
I
I
do miss Krillin's center part mullet. I'm sad that isn't a thing anymore.
Hey, can always be regrown. You yourself could always grow something like that too. You know?
I could grow a center part mullet.
Or someone could Photoshop that onto your head. I'm just saying. The possibilities are endless.
I think it really looks great on Krillin. Not me, but that's fine.
Sure. It's funny that a player named Krillin would be known for hair more than anything.
Yes, exactly.
I feel like there's a bit of irony there. We're going to our 4th map. It's going to be Havana. That's right, escort time. Just pushing the payload. And our 4th and final map of the series, some sullen faces on the Guangzhou Charge side of things. They had such a good week 1, but again, you know, you look at the strength of their opponents, not that high. Now they're running into London Spitfire, who are really starting to look like perhaps the best team with a very small sample size, of course. But right now, maybe the best team in Stage 4.
Yeah, I think definitely they look strong, and they are playing better opponent today than they were last week. Still need to see them go up against some of the real heavyweights of this league, but London, they peaked at the right time last year, came in as the 5th seed in our season playoffs, ended up lifting the trophy, and once again, they're in that 6th position to start today. And are they going to make the run back and peak at the right time again in our playoffs this year?
It'd be a crazy story if they were able to do it 2 years in a row.
They're just a team that can, because of the insane individual talent of this roster, you can never count them out. Like, their teamwork isn't always the greatest, but in this meta, they're very good at the coordination between, especially around the Orisa, and Jester probably being the best Orisa player we've ever seen in Overwatch.
Yeah.
Certainly helpful.
Now, Krillin only played in 4-0s so far this season, but hey, that means that they won all the games they put him in. So how about that?
You see right there, Krillin is undefeated, which is very different than the Dragon Ball character.
The actual, I know, there's really nothing you can really compare Dragon Ball Krillin to Overwatch.
I mean,
Krillin is there.
Everyone else is Yamcha.
Oh, Happy. Making Gesture look like Yamcha for a second there. Taking him out. Guangzhou charge with a good early defense. Taking out the main tank always feels good. You know, I thought he had scatter arrow again for a second. Nope.
The question is,
Sonic.
how are they going to get Jester to the rest of the team? Because London are all up on the high ground right now, and Guangzhou should be able to cut Jester and his very slow pony off.
They'll offer them some delicious Don Rombatico soft drink. Healthy, vitamin-filled, you know, good for everybody drink of choice. I'm pretty sure that's exactly what's going to happen. My producers are telling me that's a nice save. I agree. Birdring with a kill on a Nero. So London finally starting to push things forward here.
Here we go. Death is coming to the back line right now. Oh, no, it doesn't. Sleep comes.
Oh, yeah, but only for a short time. Birdring not getting a lot of rest there. Shu taking a rest back and spawn. Gesture down again, though. So it's really on Birdring to try to carry this one. Got to push forward here and do the damage, but now they're going to back off and wait for Gesture to amble his way back there on the Orisa.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, the coordination that we've seen between Fury and Birdring when they're playing the Diva and Reaper combo. It's collapsing on that backline, whether it's Shu or Happy.
Dragon Strike, locked and loaded. Here we go, Birdring under pressure. Pushes people away. He's got that Death Blossom as well.
Yeah, he did teleport back over to his team. Dragon Strike going to cut off some of the members of the Spitfire, but there's no follow-up.
I was going to say, they didn't really have a halt to pair with that. And that's kind of coordination that you just don't see as much. Oh, only one die. And Happy comes and uses Sniper Rifle like a jackhammer to put Reaper's face into the cement.
That was violent.
Perhaps. I think it's a kill on the Krillin as well. And charge with the solid defense here. And I hate to worry anyone, but Krillin's undefeated record in the Overwatch League could be in jeopardy if they can't get this push going. Only a minute left on the attack here for London.
I mean, neither of these teams has ever won Havana. Actually, no, I take that back. Guangzhou has won it once, but London still 0-2. We'll take a look at Shu's perspective right here. I mean, that was pretty obvious, pretty telegraphed,
Ouch, ouchie. Owie.
Ooh,
right.
Sleep Dart again!
Sunberry coming in. It did hit Fury this time. Hero pushing forward, gonna throw down the shield as they have to back away, but the Blizzard gets eaten by Hotba. That's what London needs, or that's what Charge needs rather, but they can't stop the payload. Nearly taken here, 1 meter to go for London Spitfire, and finally they're getting the kills to get this payload to the next section here on Havana.
London just pulling it out in the nick of time there.
Yeah.
They're gonna go on the offensive again. Happy. Leon the McCree as we go through the distillery phase of the map here on Havana. High ground already taken by the London Spitfire. They're heading up there with the Orisa and trying to build that hard point behind the Orisa shield.
Yeah. Sound barrier reveals where the London Spitfire are hanging out. Hear these tanks of what I'm sure is distilled water. The healthiest.
I mean, in a way, you're right. It is distilled water, just with some other things in there as well.
Quite distilled. Whatever's in there is definitely distilled. Yeah. That's for sure. Oh, Prophet. Trying to. He doesn't know that Nero's back there, I guess. I don't know. He does not live either way. Chara finally finishes him off. Like, I'll get this stuff. If you want something done right, do it yourself. Right. Narrow corridor, that Dragon Strike coming through. Damage though not done. Prophet swapping over to the Genji as they try to make some plays here at the end of things here. Happy though. Onto the McCree. So the Genji with that reflect might make that flashbang a little bit tougher to land.
Gonna start to get that initial elimination onto Happy. So Prophet's still up here at the top of the map trying to shut down some of these damage dealers. Cart continues to move here.
Yeah. The Spitfire have not been stopped just yet. Shu with the Nano Boost, so where he's gonna put it. All right, Nano Boost used by Shu. Oh, Chara got caught. Meanwhile, Rio has the Nano Boost, but he's struggling to stay alive here. Prophet in the faces of the Charge defense. Anti-heal on Gesture forced London to back away just a moment, but not too far.
Going with another Coalescence. Prophet's still pretty far away from that Dragon Blade. Coalescence is gonna be used immediately though.
Yep. Dream Edge blocks with that right click. Deadeye coming in. Can they get rid of the Orisa shield? Not quite. Fury down. We're out of the mech either way. Now here comes the self-destruct. Catches Fury and Gesture. Wow. Charge. Putting a stop to the attack from London Spitfire. Now we're under 30 seconds remaining for London to get this done.
All they've got is a Death Blossom Doa, not looking great. Nero has the opportunity to hit them with this Dragon Strike as they come in, maybe catch them in a choke or divide off the tanks from the rest of the team and get some quick kills. Nano Boost nearly online, as well as the Supercharger, so lots of damage multiplication coming in from the Guangzhou charge.
Meanwhile, on the Spitfire side, it's individual playmaking time, man. Reaper, Genji near that blade. Dragon Strike doesn't do a whole lot. They didn't get a halt or anything like that to pair with it. Gesture, oh, he's down! And now London, they gotta make plays now. It's all about the Reaper, it's all about the Genji. Here comes the Dragon Blade Prophet, pulls it out, goes for the reflect, turns around, can't really find anyone to cut through, doesn't get the dash resets, and I think this is where Charge is gonna stop it. Yeah, this is where the payload is going to end its progress. Last minute Death Blossom, just for funsies, you know. But good defense for the Charge here. They might be able to come away with a map win on this one yet.
Yeah, they forced out the sound barrier early. That was the most important thing for the Guangzhou Charge, was the Dragon Strike was traded for the sound barrier on the approach, which meant there wasn't a sound barrier to cover things like the Dragon Blade or the Death Blossom. Then also just being patient and playing the cart with a nano-boosted Orisa, so there weren't going to be Genji resets. No quick way to kill that Orisa while she's nano-boosted.
Let's check out how this bomb ended up going off in the end. Just happened to catch the members of London Spitfire that just couldn't get behind any cover.
Yeah, I mean, you're trying to get behind the payload, but...
Yep. Krillin was able to fade to safety there. It's the last laugh, but Hotba, gotta feel good about that one. Despite the match not going your way.
Krillin also, coming in, and one of the things that happens when he replaces Bedosin is, they lose some of the shot calling. Bedosin is a major voice on the London Spitfire. So not having him in does change quite a bit of the teamwork dynamic that they have.
Oh, random Philly fusion spray there. Hotba might have
I think it's Hot Buzz.
loaded up there, yeah. Oh, it's time to sneak.
Repping the old team. And
it's a good workout to crouch walk backwards with your arm behind you. Moira really kind of showing us how to work those quads, I guess.
That looks really difficult.
Yeah, that's hard. If you like walking while you're crouching like that, that's not something most human beings can do. It's impressive. That's right.
She has amazing balance.
Part of the Iron Man competition, I think. Look at that. Wow. It's incredible stuff.
Send Doa videos of you doing it on Twitter.
No, it's not necessary.
Do it.
Instead of Monty, Monty really loves those, I've been told. We got Nero from on high with that Pharah forcing the ice block early out of Prophet. Gets hit with a right click, but the healing is there. So this could be a lot of damage for London to be concerned about.
How do they kill this Pharah, Noah?
I don't know.
Fury's got to fly up there.
Like that.
They're going to hit an icicle.
2 in a row, in fact. Up, pushing away the Diva. That's the thing. Just save the concussive blast for Diva, I guess.
Yes, it's the only thing you need it for. You're going to go ahead and D-back Fury at the end. And
coming in.
Turning into a disaster for the London Spitfire.
I might need to make some changes here. I don't know if the Reaper is the best anti-Pharah tool in the toolbox there for London.
Well, it's also they don't have an Ana, right?
Sure.
They don't have a Batiste. You're running with a Moira and Alicia.
Moira's just kind of like frantically waving at Pharah, being like, please come down low enough for me to hit you. Oh, the epic duel. 2v1, 2v3, and Happy, like anyone, probably not able to handle that.
I mean, Happy should not have gone into that alone, because in fact it stalled out his team's ability to progress. Because remember, there were only 4 members of London alive, and he just walked in there and died. So definitely a missed opportunity there for the Guangzhou Charger. Oh,
one more, 2 more, 3 more. The healing just coming in, eliminating Prophet's abilities to finish off the Pharah.
So it did prevent them from attacking in the open ground, as we're going to see the Blizzard come down right now.
I knew it. Ooh, Gesture somehow gets caught by that. That hurts.
But now that they have the cover of the building, they can stop the payload and dodge away from these Pharah rocket shots.
Nero's got the barrage. Murdering down. And mostly, London just keeps getting pushed farther and farther back. Krillin can tickle him with the Coalescence, but that's not the direction you really want to be aiming it. You don't want to be wasting it, shooting it up in the air, trying to kill Pharah. That's what I do in my games, guys. Don't do that.
All right, Coalescence is going to be used right out of the gate again. They're trying to get in. Shu going to die with this nano boost up.
Oh, he is going after the Pharah. All right, well, here we go.
It goes up to Mercy.
Oh, did a lot of damage. Fire, Mercy, whatever. It's all the same. They're all both up in the air shooting things sometimes. And it looks like London's going to get a stop here.
Well, impressive from London, but I think a bit of a missed opportunity there from the Guangzhou charge. Still the nano boost, though. Something to work with. Interesting to see Guangzhou using the Deadeye in this series as kind of a counter Blizzard.
Yeah. Sound barrier. Bird Ring walking forward. They know. They know. That Death Blossom is ready to go for Bird Ring. When you see that Reaper running toward you, you're like, oh, I know what's going on here. He's going for the play of the game. Getting in from behind the Orisa. Nano boost onto Rio now. Supercharger out of the way. Here comes the Deadeye. Any chance? No! That's what happens to you, Deadeye right in front of the enemy team. Oh, pooping the Reaper away.
Have you noticed that nobody ever actually ceases their resistance when Orisa puts down the Supercharger?
No.
The resistance continues.
Was anyone really resisting?
I think you are resisting getting killed by her, yes.
I'm not sure what Orisa is supposed to, like, what is her job? She's kind of like a police robot, sort of, but she's also just kind of like out there, like stopping traffic and stuff, I don't know.
Being a terrible robotic centaur.
Well, she's got a heart, and that's where it counts. You know? Heart's in the right place. Robot, Prophet coming in with the Blizzard.
Not happy this time.
Yeah, that's right. Gets in the ice block too as the flashbang gets used as well. Right click's coming through, and London might just stop it right here. Trying to go for this 4-0 anyway. And Rio, another nano boost, but he's really the only one there. There comes the Dragon Strike. London having to separate for just a second. Chara on the payload, and now Prophet healing up in the ice block again. Sound barrier gets used. Can Charge push through with it, though? I don't know. London just has so many ways of keeping him away from the payload. It's so tough. Krillin's got the Coalescence. Gonna pop that one immediately here.
Yeah, pushback.
Yep, why not? It's the damage mitigation that's just crazy with this composition.
Uh-oh.
Oh, well, all right. A chance with Gesture down.
Oh, Quartermain got his own canceled.
Yeah, that's right. No sound barrier for London. And Charge suddenly, at the very end, might have a way to push through. I think London thought it was over.
Oh, they did, and they overcommitted as well. I mean, Quartermain throwing that sound barrier out so late as a stall tactic. But Fury's still alive, still has a self-destruct. Gonna use it. No follow-up, he's gonna remech.
Payload, though. Yeah, he does get back in his mech, which is a little bit surprising, actually. All right. Stop a little bit longer. Can London actually get back here? They've got the quicker respawn.
Comes down to this Death Blossom. It's basically all they've got. Maybe they can get a Blizzard. Here we go.
Yeah.
Bird Ring wants to use it. He can't use it.
He has no health. All right, needs some healing. No, Char gets him. And that will be point A taken by the Charge. They'll get it done.
Wow. Nick of time.
No kidding.
2.5 minutes out of the clock. Quite a bit. And remember, you know, they only got 1 point, the London Spitfire. We're going to take a look. Yeah, you look at the Quartermain ult cancel right now that we saw earlier. It was Shu again. Shu has been amazing this series. Oh, it wasn't canceled.
What? All right. Not canceled at all. What do you know?
Ball blocked it, looked like.
Could be. London Spitfire, though, trying to hold, but now Guangzhou Charge suddenly in a position where they can actually win this map. Come away with their heads held mildly high here. Dragon Strike, ooh, threw a lot of people. Gesture down, and Guangzhou Charge trying to finish this one off. Minute 40, though, for London still on the clock, or for Charge still on the clock.
Plenty of time. Sound barrier gonna go down.
Yeah.
Trying to deal with this Blizzard from Prophet, and London may have overcommitted to this.
I mean, he deals with it quite well. And yeah, London, I think, getting a little frantic here. Nice flashbang. Good stall onto Quartermain. The payload's still moving. Can anyone even get there from London?
I mean, they can definitely get there, Doa. We'll see them try and make one final play. Box maybe at the end of point B, but London's gonna have to win every fight from here on out.
Got to get those casks of healthy carrot juice to the end. The payload must make it. Happy with another Deadeye. He's got the nano boost too. Electric Cowboy indeed. Walking in, trying to send London into the sunset on this map at least. Fury out of the mech. Gesture out of the game for the moment. And Charge is doing it. Wow. All right. Self-destruct. Paving the way. And it looks like that's going to be it. Charge, able to get it done here in map 4. So a win for London Spitfire in the series, but a little bit of a victory for Charge at the end. But London rolls on towards another solid stage 4 with a 3-1.
Yeah, and actually Guangzhou Charge going to stop Krillin's undefeated streak.
Oh, man.
Krillin, taste defeat for the first time. Not true in Dragon Ball, but true in Overwatch League.
Yep.
Guangzhou Charge did not impact Yamcha at the end of this series.
No, they didn't. Went full on Goku at the end of that one. That's right. Summon the power from deep within. Yeah, this team, though, London Spitfire, definitely in a position to make a deep run in the playoffs now. Holding on to their spot in the playoffs. Not even needing to worry about the play-ins at this point. If they can keep this momentum going, they are going to be looking really good going into the overall Overwatch League playoffs here in 2019.
Yeah, and it is so important because not having to play in the play-in means you're playing 1 or 2 fewer matches depending on where you're seated. Got that guaranteed spot. You got a week where you're not going to have to play. Yeah. It helps keep your strats a little bit more secret. So very important for London. And they continue to roll undefeated so far, 3-0 now in stage 4.
That's right. Meanwhile, we have Danny standing by with Birdring for post-match interview.
Montindo, thank you very much. Everybody give it up for Birdring for his victory. Yeah, great job today. I think today's the first time we've seen Reaper play throughout the whole match, and you're really popping off on Reaper. Can you tell me what makes Reaper such a viable hero to play in this meta, and also what makes him so strong these days? 아무래도 일단 오늘 승리 너무 축하드리고요. 또 오늘 굉장히 버드링 선수의 리퍼 굉장히 인상이 깊었던 것 같아요. 리퍼가 요즘 들어서 조금 더 자주 쓰여지고 또 런던 쪽에서 좀 자주 이용하는 좀 이유가 있나요?
사실 저희도 이제 리퍼를 기용하기 한 조합이 이제 어제부터 연습을 했기 때문에 저희도 리퍼한테 많이 맞아보고 쓰는 거라 그래서 모르겠어요. 일단 리퍼가 확실히 지금 메타에서 좀 센 거 같긴 해요.
So we actually started practicing the Reaper composition just about yesterday. I believe Reapers are strong because we've actually had experience being defeated with Reaper and just getting a lot of hit by Reaper, and we just felt like Reaper is a really viable hero to play these days, and because of that, he is very, very strong. Also, next week, you guys will be facing off against the Vancouver Titans for the first time. How are you going to defeat the Titans next week? 자, 다음 주 이제 처음으로 런던과 밴쿠버 팀이 붙게 되는데요. 어떻게 하면 런던이 밴쿠버 타이탄즈를 이길 수 있을까요?
일단 예전에 같은 팀메이트였던 후렉 선수가 현재 밴쿠버에서 좀 좋은 모습을 보여주고 있어서 거기에 있어서 좀 칭찬해주고 싶고 다음 밴쿠버 경기에서는 피지컬로 저희가 딜러 싸움 이기는 모습으로 저희가 밴쿠버를 이기는 그림 예상하고 있습니다.
Okay, so first thing, I just want to congratulate Hurek, our former teammate. He's been popping off these days, so good job to Hurek. And also against the Vancouver Titans, it's going to be a mechanical fight. Which dealer gets more picks is going to win, and we're going to defeat them in that way. All right, thank you so much, Birdring. Casters, back to you guys.
Thank you, Danny. That's right. It's Reaper madness in the Overwatch League right now. The kid's going crazy.
So
Man
crazy.
in Black. That's right. Well, let's take a look at who our player of the match is. Brought to you by by HP. There we go. I got it out. And it's going to be Prophet. His May was to play today.
And yes, it was. He's doing a Hanzo impression there for all you at home, and he just played some amazing projectile today. Once again, the walls, positioning on the Mei, so good. Doa likes watching Mays destroy other Mays.
I just like watching Maze get destroyed. I don't care who's doing the destroying, that's just me. Yeah, well, what can you say? I mean, even got a little bit of Genji action towards the end of that one, too.
I love this play.
So good.
I just love what you know what must have been going through Shu's head is he like sees the teleporter, he's like, I'm gonna volley whoever comes out of this. And then it just a window pops out and
I've made a terrible mistake.
I've made a terrible mistake. Indeed. So
Prophet's target acquisition though was so good in that moment. But yeah, look at that. Tons of elims on the Mei. Let's take a look at our season standings overall right now. You can see with that win, Spitfire in 5th place overall, solidly in the playoffs with a +12 map differential. And if they can keep this ball rolling, they might be able to jump up to 4th. I think beyond that, It's going to be tough. Can't get through that map differential, but they can at least hit 4th if they keep playing well.
Turns out if you're the Shock and you have a golden stage where you win literally every map, you have a really large map differential that other teams aren't going to be able to catch up to.
Yeah.
But I think the Spitfire do have that shot of overtaking the Spark. Spark looked shaky last week, and we're going to see them again later this week as they take on Guangzhou. So we're going to get a really good barometer of how good the Spark are, because both Spark and Spitfire will have played the same opponent the same week.
Yep, that's right. So, interesting. It's going to be so interesting to see how our season standings shake out towards the end of Stage 4. Goodbye to our Disney XD audience. Thanks for joining us. You can still keep watching on Twitch and the ESPN app as well. If you want more Overwatch League action, why wouldn't you? Because coming up next, Florida Mayhem versus Washington Justice.
Match of the century.
Oh, baby, match of the century. That's right. Don't go anywhere, guys. More Overwatch League right after this.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by T-Mobile, now connecting 99% of Overwatch League fans. Catch your league on America's network, T-Mobile.